They say motherhood is a journey, but let's be honest, sometimes it feels more like a roller coaster with no seatbelt. I bet you're like me, wondering why babies, or teens in my case, don't come with instruction manuals. Welcome to This Incredible Mom Life, the podcast that celebrates the beautiful chaos, quiet wins, messy moments, and everyday miracles of being a mom. I'm your host, Dummy, wellness coach, mom of three boys, and a passionate believer that you don't have to live at the mercy of PMS, burnout, or exhaustion. Join me every week as we hear the craziest and most unbelievable mom stories. I'll be sharing the huge accomplishments and triumphs of both our moms and their kids. We'll giggle, cheer on the kids, and discuss obstacles and lessons learned along the way. If you are struggling to be the best mom you can be, how open-minded are you to booking a free call with me? You don't have to live at the mercy of your cycle, and you definitely don't have to do it alone. Give yourself permission to let me be part of your support system. I believe that you weren't meant to just survive motherhood. You were meant to thrive in it. It's another week, and I have another super mom guest. Kelsey Wickenhauser is a lifestyle medicine physician assistant and Christian weight loss coach, helping women lose weight without dieting, obsessing over food, or chasing quick fixes. She is the founder of Kingdom Fit Moms, where she teaches a faith-based approach to health that goes change, beyond behavior change, and gets to the root of why women struggle in the first place. Her mission is to help women experience true freedom, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Thank you, Kelsey, for being here with me today.
Hey, it's so fun to hang out. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have a great talk. I know it. So, um, why don't we get started? Tell us who you are a mom to.
Hey, yeah, so I have four kiddos, ages I'm trying to think because as I'm saying this, they're about two of them are about to shift, but right now, 9, 7, 4, and almost 1. So we have a busy house, but it's a lot of fun.
4 under 10.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, it is a lot of fun. I'm sure it feels like a zoo or a circus some days, but
Yes.
all
Yes.
good. Well, share a story.
Yeah, well, toddlers are funny, and I feel like everybody has a good toddler story, but when I think of my 4-year-old now, he's been the most toddlery toddler, if you know what I mean. Like just keep me on my toes. And I remember it's always a bad sign when it's quiet, right? So it was too quiet and I went into the bathroom and he had a set of those. It was like a play broom, a play mop. Anyway, he was washing my bathroom floor with the toilet water
Oh
with his
no.
play mop. So, it's one of those moments where you have to pause and keep your composure because it's funny and frustrating at the same time. So now that it's past, I can live to tell about it and laugh about it. But at the time, it was
Yeah,
not
but in that
exactly
moment, it's like, oh, now I have to clean up everything.
yes, yes, no,
And he was just trying to help. That's all.
yes, just trying to help. So
Well, I'm glad you had a funny experience with that afterwards, at least, not maybe in that moment, but afterwards.
yeah.
Um, Great. So now tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. So as you mentioned, I'm a PA and mom of four. We homeschool, so I am mostly homeschooling my two oldest at the time, but we're going to move into kindergarten for my third this coming year. And I run an online business. We live out in the country. So we've got about 40 acres and we're attempting some of the homesteading things. And my husband and I, we really have an entrepreneurial spirit. So he's a physical therapist running his own thing, and we just really have a heart for health. So that's kind of life. And I run a program called Fit Moms Academy for Christian women ready to break the chains of dieting.
Nice. And I know a lot of moms struggle with that, especially, if we've had kids close in age or, our bodies are just taking on too much and we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
So let's talk about obesity. Why is it so important to prevent obesity for women?
Yeah, I think, when we think about this question initially, especially as medical providers, we go to all of the clinical reasons, right? And we could have several podcasts on this, but we know that it leads to disease. We want to keep you out of the office. Um, you know, most disease is lifestyle preventable. So if we can help get your weight under control, but we all know that, right? But I think that even the deeper reasons why, and this was really triggered in my heart to have a love for obesity treatment and prevention, even from a young age, because I remember looking at the world around me and seeing all these overweight adults just sitting around. And I asked my dad when I was probably 8 or 9, I have this memory of like, when I grow up, do I just become overweight? Explain to me, you need to move and eat well, but something was planted in me like, I don't want that to be my story. And now when I work with women, the reality is that yes, it can lead to a lot of problems with disease and physical issues, but the reality is thoughts are consumed by it. And we waste so much time when we are worried about, what to wear because nothing looks right, or worrying about a number on the scale, or being too embarrassed to show up fully, hiding in pictures. Ultimately, I think it steals from our purpose here on earth. I think we all have purpose, we all have a reason to live, and our time is so short. So if weight is a struggle, then it's stealing from that purpose. And then, I think it's also important to just recognize that our body is a gift, and we only get one of them. So I'm just so passionate about helping people to steward that gift really well and to feel what it's like to thrive in your own skin. With the people that you work with too, I'm sure a lot of women, as they learn about hormones and their cycles, like, wow, I never knew I could even feel this good. Because we've just had blinders over our eyes for so long when we're just accepting, hey, I just am tired all the time or whatever.
Yeah, and that was me. I felt like that. I didn't even know, right? Because as a PA, we didn't learn these things. None of my doctors ever told me these things. So I love that you're using obesity prevention as a way to fulfill your life's purpose. That's kind of a new twist on how to look at it. So I think that's really great because you're right. It comes with stress, right? Mental, physical stress. It comes with financial burdens, right? You're
Yes.
taking so many medications, you're going to doctors, it gets expensive.
Yes.
So I love what you're doing with that. Talk about some of the challenges that moms face, when we're trying to take care of our health.
Yeah, I think ultimately it comes down to consistency, right? It's the biggest thing. We're trying to take care of everyone else. And so, how do I keep meal planning and preparing food and exercising and sleeping, right? What's sleep like when you have a bunch of little kids? So, it's a struggle. And, it's not the same thing trying to lose weight or get healthy when you have kids as when maybe you're 23 without a kid. That's a whole different ball game. So figuring out how to actually implement a healthy lifestyle in a way that's simple and that you can do consistently really is the key.
Yeah. When my kids were little, I used to like harp on them. I still do. I'm like, you need to eat at least a fruit and a vegetable, right? At every meal, or for snack, I would always put at least one healthy thing was out with all the other stuff. And same thing with the exercise. Like, when they were little, we used to do mommy and me yoga videos on YouTube and, all these things. So I'm trying to instill that in them. But I think a lot of us moms, we just get caught in the like to-do list and the, checklist. And I did this, I did that, I did the laundry, I did the chores. And then we're taking care of the kids. We're like, we want them to be active, we want them to eat healthy, and we forget that we have to do that to ourselves too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, it's consistency is so important, and it doesn't have to be like an hour-long routine, right? It can be a few minutes here, a few minutes there, right? Like when I cut up fruit for my kids, I always make sure I have enough for me too.
Yeah. Well, I love with what you're saying too, it's instilling an identity of health in your kids because sometimes we can be like, oh, I want to make sure my kids have everything they need. And I want to, as moms, we get this mom guilt, like I want to do everything I can for my kids. And then we don't realize that they're watching us. And so if we're always serving and we're not, just like you said, doing mommy and me workouts or inviting them into the journey, or even saying, hey, I'm going to have this boundary or I'm going to do this thing and you can play next to me, but I'm going to stick to my boundary. instilling an identity in them. So when they leave the house, they're doing the thing. They're going to eat the fruit and have that as a snack like you did and work out with their kids. So it really is creating a generational change of I'm worth it.
Yes. Such an important message right there. Those three words, I'm worth it. So all the moms, take note of that. Um, I know we just touched on this a little bit, but give us some more examples of how moms can get healthy without overhauling their whole life or their whole routine.
Yeah. I mean, if we try to overhaul our whole life, we always fail, right? So
Yes.
that's a great question. I mean, we probably all know this, but it has to be slow and steady, and we have to be okay with that. Really ending with or having that end goal in mind of why I'm fighting for this and be transformed one little step at a time, really realizing that it's not a race, it's not about perfection, just that one little decision. And I think it is helpful if you have a blueprint of how to take those steps because as moms, we have a lot of decisions to make. So if you can reduce decision fatigue in some way, that's helpful. And then one other thing that we really talk about a lot in our community is to have non-negotiables. So maybe you have two or three a month that you're setting as a boundary, like I'm going to drink a cup of lemon water before I have my coffee every day, just little things that you do consistently. Then it'll all build up. And before you know it, after a year, you're going to have so many of these habits under your belt.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Um, if you did great one day, that's, amazing. If not, you start again the next morning. It's a fresh, clean slate. So I love that. I teach the same thing. Definitely just start with a few minutes a day, whether it's meditation or planning a meal or just going out for a walk, whatever it is, do something for yourself. Show your kids again, set the boundaries. Now you work with women more in a faith-based approach. So talk about how faith plays an important role in health and wellness.
Yeah, I think to start, we have to understand who we are, who we're created to be, our inherent value, that we are loved, right? And that settles down not just in our head, but in our heart, and it changes the way that we show up for ourselves. So there's that piece of it. And then there's also this aspect of figuring out why the struggle with weight exists. So oftentimes we try to just modify behavior when there's actually something more deeply rooted in our hearts. And so it's just like in functional medicine where you're trying to do root cause medicine and figure out why is this disease manifesting. There's a spiritual aspect too, where maybe there's been a wound, a trauma, maybe a lie that's been spoken over you. I mean, really, there's so many different things that can settle into our being that we need to help you to figure out how that is tied to these unhealthy patterns, why you keep cycling from diet to diet, or why you don't show up for yourself, or why you're always, giving in to emotional eating. There's something else going on in your heart. And so when I say like faith-based weight loss, a lot of it has to do with that. It's digging up the why and then healing from that. So we have a whole process to teach you how to invite truth in. And then it's getting excited to show up to do the work that we're called to do again. Like if everybody listening was excited to live the life that they were called to live without any hindrances, think of how much more rewarding life would be and how much better the world would be. And then really it's getting to that point where we can heal so that we can speak out and declare a new story over our life. So it's all those pieces tied in with the action of doing the thing and showing up, simplifying food, all those pieces that we've talked about.
Yeah. So what happened to me was I just wanted to heal my like PMS symptoms. I was like, I'm tired of getting cramps and bloated and irritable every month. I'm tired of the heavy bleeding. I just want to feel better. And so I did the reading, I did the research. And when I did that as a bonus, I guess, or as a, just, cherry on top of the Sunday or whatever, I noticed that I had more mental clarity, right? I was never very spiritual and I started becoming more spiritual because I had that clarity and that focus. Things like my migraines went away. I never thought they could go away.
Wow.
I thought I had them all my life, right? My relationships with my kids changed and my husband changed, right? I'm communicating much better. I'm much more present with their activities. And that, I mean, just changing my own health led me to change careers, pick up a new entrepreneurial journey and all that stuff, which I never would have guessed happening. Like 7 years ago, if you asked me, I would have been like, no, I'm a PA. I'm just going to be working and doing my things. But once I felt so much better, like you said, I reconnected to the spirituality. I, reconnected to my authentic self again. And just so many things improved in my life. Like it was like, I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's like you removed all this sludge and you could see the light, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what life is supposed to be like.
Yeah. And once you feel that way, now I think you're the same. We just want to teach everyone else that you don't have to just survive each day. You can be happy and fulfilled and live a life full of purpose.
Yes. Amen.
I love that. All right. Well, you have a free offer that you would like to give called the Consistency Kickstart. So talk about that.
Yeah, so as we've discussed, I mean, really consistency, that's the number one thing I hear from moms. I just can't stay consistent. And so I have a freebie where you can sign up and it's going to just walk you through several days of those basic steps for how do we start getting consistent and seeing the scale drop quickly just through these little micro things that we often overlook. So I'll give you the website and you can put that down in the show notes, Amy.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. And it's easy things, right? Like you said, lemon water before your coffee.
Yes.
Right? Going
Simple
for a 10-minute walk.
overlook. Yes.
Yeah, something. Just taking a few minutes to practice deep breathing, right? Do a yoga session with your kids. We used to do one, I forget the name of it, but it was like a lady who did like stories in the yoga. So she would take like Disney movies and this and that and do
cool.
like a little yoga routine out of it. And so, we used to do that. We used to go to the park all the time. And when you're at the park too, like I wasn't just sitting on the bench, I was running around behind my kids, right? Like,
yes.
So it's small things, simple shifts. I think getting off the screens is a big one because if you're off the screens, you're naturally, more present and more in tune and doing all the things. So I love that. And I will definitely put the link below. If anybody has a question or they want to connect with you, where can they find you?
Yes, my favorite place to hang out is on my podcast, Kingdom Fit Moms. And I'm also on Instagram, Kelsey Wickenhauser, and I have a free Facebook community, Kingdom Fit Moms as well.
Awesome. So again, we'll put all the links down below. So I think our takeaways for today were be consistent, right? Start slow with one thing and just, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be as messy as it needs to be in the season that you're in the day that you're in, I'm sure with 4 kids running around there are good days and bad days. So do what you can when you can. Great. This was a really fun conversation. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Amy.
Of course. Thank you again for joining me. And as we close, I just want to say this is your reminder that incredible moms aren't perfect. They're intentional. And when a mom feels strong, her whole body feels it. So thanks for spending this time with us. And I will see you next week on This Incredible Mom Life.
Are you struggling to be the best mom you can be? Are you fatigued, overwhelmed, and stressed out? Are you losing precious time with your family because of PMS? If so, sign up for my free gift on how to start living in tune with your monthly cycle. The link to get it is in the show notes below. Use this guide to help you start to eliminate your symptoms of PMS, increase your energy, reduce stress, and fully enjoy this incredible mom life. The way I see it, you have 3 choices. You can try to figure it all out on your own. You can do nothing and stay where you are, or you can get the customized guidance you need to thrive as a mom. The choice is yours. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something from these stories. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. It really helps this show grow. If you have a mom story you would like to share, click on the link in the description below on becoming a podcast guest. Remember, the content on this podcast is for general information only. It does not replace any medical advice given by your healthcare providers. Please check with your doctor if you have any questions about your specific condition and before starting any new diet or exercise regimen. Thank you, and you will hear from me soon.